Okay. So hello, 안녕하세요. The presentation, please. Yeah. So I'm very glad to be here today. Thank you very much for hosting us. Thank you, Pastor, for having us today and for your very kind words about Israel.
예, 초대해 주셔서 감사하고요. 와서 만나서 반갑습니다.
I noticed that the audience here knows some words in Hebrew, and this is very heartwarming.
네, 성도님들이 히브리 말을 알으셔가지고 마음이 너무 따뜻하고 좋대요.
Words like and please you can follow me. Words like shalom shalom,
샬롬 샬롬,
and erev tov, right? Erev tov, yes. And probably I didn't tell you, but I'm coming from a small village next to Jerusalem, and in Hebrew we say Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim, right? Like, and I would like to teach you another word today. Mr. Peldman here, he was lecturing about innovation, right?
네, 그래서 앞에 대사님이 네, 혁신에 대한 거를 설명하셨는데 새로운 단어를 하나 알려드리고 싶습니다. 혁신.
Yokshin. So yokshin is the word that I would like to tell you. So in English it's innovation, in Korean
혁신.
yokshin. And I would like you to learn how to say that in Hebrew, because you like Hebrew words, right? So this will be your new Hebrew word to say to each other, right?
새로운 히브리 단어를 가르쳐드리겠습니다.
So yokshin in Hebrew, can repeat after me, is hadshanut.
하드샤누트.
Okay, so this is yokshin.
네, 이거 혁신이라는
So,
단어예요.
Pastor, please, for the following sessions of the church, you can repeat this word in Hebrew.
이제 목사님들 나중에
하드샤누트.
성도님한테
Okay?
또 가르치면은 하드샤누 가르치래요.
Okay, so now we are warmed up, I believe, right? So my name is Yaniv Goldberg. I'm the economic attaché at the embassy. I'm working with Mr. Peldman.
네, 같은 대사님 네, 같이 일하시고요.
Okay, so the purpose of my presentation is to follow Nadav's presentation on innovation, and I would like to deal and to discuss with you on specific areas of innovation in Israel and maybe some potential opportunities for anyone in the audience that would like to invest in Israel, to work with Israeli companies, and so forth.
그래서 앞에 발표 따라서 이제 특별한 이제 투자를 어디에 어떤 투자가 가능한지 좀 간략하게 설명해드리고 싶습니다.
By the way, this is a part of Jerusalem over here. And over here is the modern city of Tel Aviv, as you probably know.
네, 중간은 제루살렘이고요. 밑에는 텔아비브.
Yeah. איך העברת את זה? לכוון שם. Oh, yeah. So Nadav mentioned the relationship with Israel and Korea, and obviously we feel very much close to you in many, many ways, both in personality. I think Israelis and Koreans are very similar to each other, but also in some historic factors and economic factors. So maybe you can translate.
네,
Yeah.
그래서 이제 비슷한 점은 아까 설명한 것처럼 우리가 이제 뭐 역사적으로, 뭐 문화적으로 비슷한 점이 있고요.
Yeah. So some similarities are in the fact that in both countries there is a lack of natural resources, and both countries are in a way island nations. Korea is some kind of an island, and Israel is definitely an island because we have some close border with our Arab neighbors, and both countries have some major defense challenges and many other similarities.
예, 그래서 비슷한 점은 뭐 한 네 가지 옆에 다 적어 놓으셨는데 뭐 이제 뭐 자본 한국이 뭐 자연 그런 자본이 많이 없고요. 또 어떻게 보면은 섬나라 이스라엘도 섬나라고 뭐 그 갇혀 있고 그리고 또 예, 이제 뭐 군사적인 그런 비슷한 면도 있습니다.
And on the different aspects between the countries, actually, these are very positive differentialities between us, because I believe that this is the fact why Israel and Korea are complementary economies. This is why we can work with each other, and this is why we are not competing with each other.
그래서 반대쪽으로 다른 면들이 때문에 같이 일할 수 있고 경쟁을 같이 하는 거 아니고 같이 일할 수 있는 기회가 있다고 설명하세요.
So Korea is a manufacturing country, a very strong manufacturing country with many big industries and maybe many capabilities of manufacturing on a big scale.
네, 한국은 대기업들도 있고요. 그러고 많이 생산 많이 한다고 얘기하십니다.
While in Israel is a very small country, but also we are not manufacturing a lot of things by ourselves, and the domestic market is very small. So this is why we are more focused on the software industry and on technological solutions like innovative solutions and all kinds of new ideas that we would like to take globally and make them bigger.
네, 그래서 이스라엘은 작은 나라고 이렇게 막 생산하는 거 아니고요. 소프트웨어에 집중하고 그러고 그거 통해서 다른 데 나갑니다.
And this is another difference that goes together, the fact that in Korea there are many big conglomerates, big corporations like LG, Samsung, Hyundai, and so forth. And in Israel, we have mainly small companies and startups companies that try to export their ideas abroad.
네, 한국은 대기업들 뭐 삼성, 현대, LG가 있는데 이스라엘은 이제 그런 스타트업들이 있고요. 이거를 이제 다른 데로 이제 수출 하는 거를 신경 쓰고 있습니다.
And this is why we believe this is the perfect match, because Korean companies, Korean people know how to take ideas and make them big and very strong and on a global scale, and Israelis and Israeli company know how to bring new ideas, new innovative ideas.
네, 한국은 이제 어떤 아이디어를 크게 생산 만들고 그런데 이스라엘은 이제 이거를 어떻게 아이디어를 이제 스타트업으로 만들 수 있으니까.
Okay, so on those tasks when I'm going fast, it means that you don't need to translate everyone. So I won't repeat what Nadav was saying already, but as you can see, Israel is very small, 8.7 million people, less than Seoul, but it's growing very fast, and the rate of growth, the GDP growth is around 3.5%. GDP per capita is quite high, one of the highest in the Western world. Very, very promising in terms of investment into Israeli technologies, and I will deal with that later. Quite stable in the economic status, and very, very innovative in terms of R&D that is being pooled and being invested by the government, also in Korea.
네, 그래서 경제적으로 안정됐다고 이거 다 설명을 못 드리는데요. 다 안정돼 있고 그래서 뭐 서울보다는 인구가 작지만 잘 안정된 나라다고 설명하시네요.
And the high-tech sector in Israel is very, very important because it contributes more than 50% of the industrial exports and also employs around 10% of the people, and is very responsible for the growth, and it's an engine growth for the Israeli economy.
그래서 저기 하이텍 이런 기술이 이제 한 20% 사람들이 일하고요. 되게 많이 성장을 하고 있다고 설명하시고요.
And Israel is now becoming very, very strong in many indexes, worldwide indexes like competitiveness and innovation index. So this is one of the key indexes for competitiveness in the global markets. And Israel has improved in many, many ways and reached a very high rank in one of the indexes.
그래서 경쟁력으로 지금 16번. 그래서 많이 경쟁력이 있는 나라라고 설명하시고 있습니다.
And Israel, as Nadav said, and I won't repeat that, Israel is becoming an innovation hub. It was always like that, and it's becoming more and more strong in innovation. It's becoming some kind of an innovation lab of the world. Many R&D centers are being opened in Israel, and this is also being reflected in many rankings and indexes about R&D, about the number of PhDs per capita. Israel is doing very great on this perspective as well.
네, 혁신이 많은 군데서 반영이 되고 있고요. 뭐 교육과 뭐 박사학위와 여러 가지를 설명하시고 계십니다.
And actually, this is the riddle that Nadav presented to you earlier, and actually the number is, as Nadav said, the number is even higher now. So it's 1,400 companies that being opened every year in Israel, and this means that every 6 hours there's a new company, and there are many companies that are being closed. And as Nadav said, there's no fear of failure in Israel, and I think this is one of the reasons for the success of the Israeli startup ecosystem.
네, 그래서 1,400이 돼요 지금에. 그러고 실패를 두려워하지 않으니까 이렇게 스타트업들이 많이 생기고 있다고 다시 얘기하는 거예요.
Yeah, and now I would like to speak about specific technologies, specific areas of innovation in Israel, and what I chose for you. These are not the only areas of innovation in Israel, but I chose specific areas specifically for you because you are true believers, right? And I think that you're looking to do good in the world, right? We all came to do good things in our world. And these specific technologies that I would like to mention are specifically doing good. They are doing good for human beings. They are improving the life of human beings. And it makes me very proud to tell you about these kind of technologies.
그래서 이 네 가지를 갖고 왔는데 이 네 가지만 있는 거 아니고요. 더 많은데요. 이 네 가지를 통해서 우리가 사회를 더 좋게 좋은 거를 할 수 있게 한번 설명해 드리고 싶습니다.
So very generally, I will talk about 4 areas of technology that are very strong in Israel nowadays. So one of them is what you all also know very good here in Korea is artificial intelligence or AI, right? So the way we teach the machine, the computer, how to think like human being, how to do very complicated calculations or very complicated actions that only human beings could have done in the past, and now we teach the computer to do so as human being. And this is an area with many fears and many people afraid that this will lead for very negative consequences. But this is also an area of many opportunities and many ways that we can improve human beings' lives.
그래서 AI가 첫 번째인데요. AI를 사람들이 많이 두려워하지만 이 분야를 어떻게 우리가 사람들의 삶을 더 편하게, 더 좋게 할 수 있을까?
Another area is biomed, biopharmaceutical, medical equipment, digital health. This is definitely an area which is very important for human beings, for all of us. This is the drugs that we use, and these are the equipment in the hospitals that we are being treated with, and this is the way that our medical doctor can examine us and get to know many information about us that can improve the treatment that we get in hospitals.
네, 두 번째는 바이오메드예요. 그러니까 이제 약과 병원에서 받을 수 있는 진로의 상승을 할 수 있게요.
The third area is something that I'm sure Korean people can really understand, is the automotive industry. And in Korea, there is an amazing automotive industry, Hyundai, Kia, other names, of course. And you are one of the greatest nations in the world in terms of manufacturing cars, right? And in Israel, we don't manufacture any car, but we are becoming a powerhouse in terms of technology for cars, in terms of autonomous car, in terms of connected car, the way that cars in the future will drive in our cities without any driver.
그래서 이제 자동차 기업도 이스라엘은 자동차를 생산하고 만들진 않지만 그 안에 들어가는 기술을 개발하고 있습니다.
And the last area of innovation in Israel is something that I'm really specifically proud of, is the agrotech or smart farming technologies that are becoming very strong in Israel. And you know, in Israel, at the very beginning in 1948 and the decade that came after that, Israel suffered from lack of water, irrigation water. We suffered from lack of fertile land, And we overcame those challenges using technology and using a very stubborn spirit.
네, 네 번째는 제가 제일 자랑하는 부분인데요. 스마트 파밍이라고. 그래서 1948년 후에는 이스라엘가 물도 없고 되게 굶주렸고 힘들었는데 지금은 그렇지 않습니다.
Yeah. So in the last decades, we see, and actually this is a forecast by the United Nations, that because many countries in the third world are becoming Westerns, and there is a great need for food in our world, and population is increasing, the forecasts are that there will be no food in our world in the next decades.
그래서 이제 우리가 기억을 해야 된다는 거가 이제 미래 음식이 먹을 거가 혹시 없을 수 있을 거니까 이거가 되게 중요하다고 얘기하십니다.
And the way to solve that is exactly what Israeli companies are trying to do. They are taking technology, they are taking software, they are taking AI and big data, and they are trying, and drones also, and they are trying to implement that into one of the most traditional industries in the world, which is agriculture.
그래서 농업을 이제 여러 가지 분야로 이제 빅데이터와 여러 분야를 통해서 이제 생산하고 이제 키워 나가고 있습니다.
And by that we are allowing the farmer to reduce the costs and also to increase the profit and increase the yield from his farm.
네, 그래서 그걸 통해서 이제 들어가는 돈과 이제 이득을 만들 수 있게 그 농사하는 분이 이득을 만들 수 있게 얘기합니다.
So these are the four areas that I'm going to give you some examples for, and I'm really proud of those areas of innovation in Israel. So the first example is connected with artificial intelligence, and I would like to tell you about a company, Israeli company named Orcam. And Orcam is a very young Israeli company, an Israeli startup that was actually came out of another company, a big one, which is called Mobileye. Mobileye developed the first technology in Israel for the autonomous car, and it was purchased by Intel for $15 billion recently.
그래서 올캄이라는 회사가 있는데요. 모비다이라는 회사에서 나온 회사고요. 인텔가 모비다이를 사가지고 이거 올캄이 나와서 이렇게 스타트업이 됐습니다.
And what Orcam is trying to do, they are dealing with a very problematic issue. They care about the blind people. They care about those people who cannot read easily. They care about those senior people who are struggling to read a newspaper because their eyes are weak.
네, 그래서 올캄에 대한 저기는 이제 시각장애 있든지 아니면은 눈이 좀 약하신 분을 위한 기업입니다.
So just imagine that if you are a blind person, you can take your glasses, regular glasses, and put on them a small device, plastic device with a camera and a chip inside the camera. And now the camera and the chip will read the newspaper for you, and it will say it in Korean. It will read the newspaper for you. And you're a blind person. You couldn't read in the past, but now you can read because of that.
그래서 시각장애가 있으면은 이 기계를 조그만 플라스틱 기계 안경에 꽂으면은 누르면 이제 그거 통해서 그 신문이든지 책이든지 읽어줄 수 있다고.
And now the blind person can go to his closet and pick a shirt, and this device will tell him or her if the shirt is red, or if the shirt is yellow, or if the shirt is green.
그래서 시각장애 있으면은 가서 옷장에서 옷을 꺼낼 때, 이 옷이 이 티셔츠가 빨간색인지 파란색인지 검은색인지 다 알려줄 수 있다고 얘기합니다.
And it will say that in Hebrew, it will say that in English, in French, in German, and also in Korean.
네, 그래서 많은 나라들 히브리, 영어, 네, 프랑스어 그리고 한국말도 가능합니다.
Okay, so this was one example. And the second example is coming from the biomed and digital healthcare area. And this example deals with a company named Pilcam. And Pilcam is a very interesting example for what Nadav was talking about earlier about the defense sector in Israel and the way the army is contributing to the technological developments in Israel.
그래서 아까 얘기한 것처럼 군대가 이제 그 혁신을 일으키는 것처럼 이 바이오med에서 이 피오캠이라는 거가 이 혁신에 대한 거가 있습니다.
So this is a pill, like a drug. This is a small pill that the doctor gives you, and inside the pill there is a small camera, and you swallow the pill with a glass of water, and then the doctor can see throughout your body the movement of the pill, and it can examine your inner body with this camera. Okay?
그래서 이거 조금 알약인데요. 거기 안에 카메라가 들어 있어서 이제 위내시경을 쉽게 간단하게 할 수 있는 겁니다.
And this is definitely a very special camera, which is also very unique. It can observe the difficult conditions inside the human body, and it can see through dark areas, and can examine the body in a very, very sophisticated way. And what is interesting about it, and this is why I say it's a good example for the way the defense sector in Israel is contributing, because this is the same optics. Actually, was developed by people that came out from the army, from developing missiles in the army service. And you know, in missiles there is many optics technology, right?
Yes.
So the same technology was taken from the military side, from the missiles, and it was embedded into civilian use.
그래서 그 군대에서 나왔을 때 되게 혁신적인 카메라인 거죠. 그러니까 기능이 되게 많고요. 다양한 기능, 미사일에서 쓰는 기능들을 넣었으니까 섬세하게 위를 볼 수 있다는 거예요.
Okay. And another example is what Mobileye was developing, and I mentioned Mobileye, and I will say it once again. Mobileye is a company in Israel, a big one, that developed a very special camera that allows the car, the autonomous car, to detect objects in the road, right? So it can detect a vehicle that is just in front of you, and it can detect human beings walking and passing by. And this is the very, very basic and very important infrastructure for the future of autonomous car. And this is also the reason why Intel, a very giant company that develops chips for our computers, this is the reason why Intel invested and purchased actually this company for $15 billion 2 years ago, because they believe that this will be the future. This will be the infrastructure for the autonomous car.
그래서 모빌라이라고 아까 얘기했는데요. 이거가 자동차, 그러니까 우리가 운전 안 하고 자동으로 이제 운전할 수 있는 차를 거기 기술이 들어간 건데요. 인텔가 큰 금액으로 이 회사를 매입했습니다.
Okay, and the last example deals with agriculture. And again, I really like agriculture and smart farming technology, so I will just want to say to you that, first of all, you should know that more than $150 million were invested into smart farming technologies in Israel in 2018 only. Okay? And this is quite a significant amount.
네, 2018년에는 이 어마한 미국 달러가 들어가서 스마트 파밍에 투자가 됐대요.
Yeah, and when we say smart farming, we refer to variety of technologies that allow the farmer to sense, for example, the level of humidity in the ground.
여러 가지 기술이 들어가서 그 땅에 있는 습도까지도 잴 수 있는 기능이 있고요.
And it can allow him to send a drone to the sky that will take pictures of the farm and give him instructions where to put some more chemicals, where to put some more water, and so forth.
그걸 통해서 이제 드론을 띄워서 어디에 가서 또 비료도 더 주고 물도 더 주고 그거를 발견할 수 있습니다.
But the example that I picked for you today is another example of a company named Tevel. And Tevel in Hebrew, maybe it's another Hebrew word for you today. Tevel in Hebrew means the world, okay? The entire world, Tevel. And
테벨이라는 회사를 소개했는데 테벨이라는 거는 히브리 단어로 세계를 얘기하고 있습니다.
And this company Tevel, they are doing something which is actually in my mind it's amazing. They developed a special drone, okay? Drone, like flying in the sky, right? And this drone goes through orchards of apples.
그러니까 이 특별한 드론을 만들고 사과 심는 사과밭이요. 사과 이제 심은 가수원을
and it flies between the trees,
나무 사이로 이제 날아가고요.
and it has a special camera
그리고 그 안에 카메라가 있어가지고요.
that is able to identify that this apple is mature, is ready for picking.
네, 그 사과가 익어서 딸 때가 됐는지 안 됐는지 알 수 있대요.
But it can also identify that the other apple is not mature yet, is not ready for picking.
네, 그리고 그 옆에 있는 사과, 다른 사과, 이건 아직 딸 때가 안 됐다고 구별할 수 있대요.
And more than that, once this camera, this drone, identify that an apple is ready, it picks it up and put it in a box. Okay?
네. 그러고 딸 때 됐다고 생각하면은 드론이 이걸 따가지고 이제 포장까지.
And this sounds very, very cool, right? But why is that important? This is important because nowadays in our world, there is a shortage, there is a lack of working hands. There is not enough people to pick up fruits from the trees.
이제 중요한 거가요. 일꾼이, 일할 사람이 많이 부족해서 이런 방식으로 하면은 그 음식일, 그 사과 같은 거를 이제 딸 수 있게.
And this is one of the many great ways that we can take robotics and we can take AI and we can take camera technologies and implement them for the good of human beings. Okay?
그래서 로봇과 카메라와 여러 가지 기술을 통해서 이렇게 사용할 수 있다고 설명하십니다.
Yeah. And now we will see a short video clip about agrotech in Israel, agrotechnologies in Israel.
네, 그래서 이거 조그만 영상 하나를 보여드리겠습니다.
When you think agriculture, think Israel. Israel is a world leader in agriculture. Advanced technologies developed by Israeli scientists, along with the vast knowledge accumulated, are distributed statewide and exported to many countries that rely on Israeli agriculture expertise for their agricultural production. Breakthrough Israeli research and development provides solutions for complicated agricultural day-to-day challenges worldwide. Israel's geographical structure is diverse, and the soil and climatic conditions are mostly harsh. This led to the amassing of expertise and experience in agriculture in challenging areas with unique characteristics. Breakthrough discoveries have been made in this area. With desertification on the rise globally and water sources shrinking constantly, our farmers and researchers work to develop innovative solutions that are efficient and environmentally friendly. Israel is considered a leading pioneer in water and irrigation technologies. Dozens of technologies have been developed in Israel in this field, from water purification to water recycling and irrigation with treated wastewater, all of which enable efficient agricultural production. Drip irrigation, the most efficient irrigation method on Earth, was developed in Israel. Volcani Center researchers have developed systems which provide climate monitoring and control in greenhouses, namely temperature, humidity, and ventilation control. For a plant to grow and produce, it needs ideal conditions that aren't necessarily provided by nature or in its growing habitat. Welcome to the future of agriculture. Our advanced systems developed in Israel enable us to map and analyze crops and accurately observe and measure all parameters necessary for an ideal habitat for the plant while maximizing resource utilization. After a fruit or vegetable has been picked, it's the post-harvest period in which fruit quality gradually degrades, in many cases leading to an increasing amount of produce losses, resulting in massive financial losses. Our scientists have developed advanced means and methods to extend the shelf life of fruit without affecting taste or aroma. Research and development in labs across the country, predominantly Volcani Center, led to the development of high-yield varieties more resistant to adverse climate conditions, pests, and diseases. They are more aromatic and contain higher nutritional values. Volcani scientists also developed cooling and ventilation systems for dairy farms that substantially reduce the temperature and increase the welfare of cows, thus enabling intensive and profitable milk production in dairy farms in desert areas. Israeli dairy cows produce 12,000 liters of milk annually, a worldwide production record. Agricultural waste is a great nuisance to the environment and to farmers alike. Several Israeli companies provide advanced solutions to these challenges all around the globe. Their development technologies enable recycling and complete reuse of the waste as animal feed, crop fertilizer, and a renewable energy source. Our world is changing rapidly. World population is increasing along with the standard of living. Our needs grow while climate change impacts our environment and limits our attempts to increase world agricultural production. Today, with the knowledge accumulated over the years, Israel can provide advanced solutions to many of these challenges around the world. Think agriculture. Think Israel.
So back to presentation, right? So basically, what this movie was talking about is many other technologies in agriculture, like irrigation, like drip irrigation.
그래서 이 영상이 이제 말하고 싶은 거가요. 이 기술을 여러 가지 방식으로 이제 물 주는 것도까지 포함해서요 사용하고 있는 겁니다.
And all kinds of technologies that are intended at improving the life of livestock in dairy farms, and the biotechnology that is connected with developing new kinds of seeds and the way we deal with waste of feed animal.
네, 그러니까 여러 가지를 이제 다루고 있는데요. 이제 동물에서 그 배설물서부터 많은 모든 가지를 이제 해결하는 방법을 소개하고 있습니다.
Okay, this graph you already know, and Korea is definitely doing a great job. We saw that already, and one graph that I would like to show you now is what I was talking about earlier in terms of investment. So, as you know, one of the key factors for innovation and for building startups is investment, because if we don't have money, we cannot operate. And this is why the Israeli government and Israeli companies are doing a great effort to attract investments, both from local investors in Israel, but also from outside, from overseas.
그래서 중요한 거가 이제 투자인데요. 이제 투자가 있어야지 무슨 스타트업이 생기고 돈이 있어야지 일이 생기니까요. 거기 이스라엘에 있는 사람들과 다른 데 세계에 있는 사람들 투자를 받는 거를 설명하십니다.
And actually in Israel, one thing in Israel that is very interesting is the fact that almost 90% of the investment into Israeli companies is being done by foreign investors. Chinese, American, Europeans, Koreans as well.
그래서 90% 이스라엘 투자 90%가 외부에서 미국, 중국, 한국에서도 투자하고 있습니다.
And you can see a very positive and clear positive trend towards more investment into Israel in the last couple of years. And actually in 2018 we reached a record of $6.5 billion $6.5 billion invested into Israeli companies.
그래서 이제 긍정적인 투자를 이거 도표가 보여주고 있고요. 6,500 빌리언 조나요? 6,500조 네. 어마어마한 금액이죠.
And this is the bloodline of all Israeli companies, because without investment we cannot develop those very innovative technologies that take our world into a better position.
예, 투자 없이는 더 이상 더 좋은 세상을 못 만드니까 이거 제일 중요한 겁니다.
So for me, as an economic attaché, as a representative of the Israeli government, this is very encouraging, definitely. But I'm not satisfied with that. I would like to get more. I would like that Israeli companies will be able to do much more than that.
네, 경제 외교를 하면서 이거 좋지만 이거보다 더 많은 투자가 들어왔으면은 좋을 것 같습니다.
So this is why in my role I'm doing a great effort to encourage Korean companies, Korean investors, Korean venture capitals to invest more into Israel, to know better Israel, to visit Israel, and to get to know the Israeli companies that can bring them not only great profit, and doing profit is a good thing, it's not a bad thing, but it can also help them to change the world.
네, 이득을 좋지만 이스라엘 투자해가지고 이득을 내는 것 좋지만 더 좋은 사회를 만드는 거가 좋을 것 같다고 설명하셨습니다.
So, and just for you to know, this is another very interesting graph that shows you that per capita, Israel is leading the world in terms of the investment per one human being. So, even if you take the United States, which attracts a lot of investment, it's still, when you measure it by one person, it's amazing to see that Israel is leading the world in the number of investment per one person, per capita.
이 도표는 한 사람당 지금 이스라엘가 이제 이거 투자를 그냥 1위다는 거예요. 미국도 투자하는데 1인으로 저기 따지면은 저 이스라엘보다 뒤처지는 거죠.
And all those graphs are here to show you that, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to show you a fact. I'm trying to show you that the world believes in Israel. Foreign companies, American companies, European companies, Japanese companies, Korean companies, they believe in Israel. They open their R&D centers in Israel and they put their money into Israel, and for a very good reason.
네, 자랑하는 거가 아니고요. 이스라엘을 신뢰한다고 설명해 드리는 거예요. 그러니까 모든 나라, 많은 나라들이 이스라엘을 신뢰하고 있다고.
And you know, I skipped some slides that show you the same facts all over again. But one thing that I would like to mention, and all of us know Google, right? And this guy over here is one of the founders of Google, Mr. Eric Schmidt. And Google was one of the many companies and one of the first companies, the big ones, to open an R&D center in Israel. Okay?
그래서 많은 거를 건너뛰었는데요. 이분을 구글을 우리가 다 알고 있는데 구글이 거의 최초로 이스라엘의 R&D 센터를 만든 회사입니다.
And not so many people know, but when you search in Google and when you open your Gmail accounts and when you do all kinds of things using Google applications, many of the things that you're able to do were developed in the R&D center of Google in Haifa. It's a city in Israel. It was developed there and was sold or implemented by Google to all over the world.
그래서 우리가 모르지만 구글 쓸 때마다 이스라엘에서 개발된 거예요. 하이파라는 도시에서 개발됐는데요. 이메일 열 때, 지메일 열고 다 쓸 때 이스라엘에서 개발된 기술 갖고 쓰고 있습니다.
And this is why Mr. Eric Schmidt, again, the founder of Google, said, and I'm quoting, please quote word by word, the decision, this is what he said, the decision to invest in Israel was one of the best decisions that Google has ever made.
네, 그래서 에릭 슈밋 회장이요. 이제 이렇게 얘기했어요. 이스라엘에 대한 투자가 구글에서 최고의 결정이었다.
And this is why many other companies, like Korean companies, Hyundai, LG, Samsung, they all already opened their offices in Israel.
그래서 현대, LG, 삼성이 이스라엘에다가 사무실, R&D 센터를 열고 있습니다.
But definitely we are looking into convincing and persuading other Korean companies like Hanwha and SK and many others also to go to Israel and open their R&D centers in Israel.
네, 그래서 다른 회사들도 뭐 한화든지 SK든지 가서 지금 설득하고 있습니다. 거기서 열으라고요.
And one of my last words will deal with what our office is doing. And I'm working at the embassy. I'm the economic attaché, and we have an economic department at the embassy that is called the Israel Economic and Trade Office in Korea.
네, 그래서 이제 뭐를 하는지 설명을 잠깐 해드리고 싶은데요. 이제 경제무역부 사무실이 있습니다.
And what we are trying to do is we are doing the matchmaking between the Israeli companies and the Korean companies. We get requests from the Israeli side and from the Korean side to work together. And we tell them, well, you should work with that guy, and you should work with this guy.
네, 그래서 한국 기업과 이스라엘에 있는 사람하고 이제 같이 매칭 시켜주는 거예요.
And besides that, we do all kinds of delegations. So we take Korean companies to visit Israel, and we take Israeli companies to visit Korea and do business together.
네, 그리고 또 한국 기업을 이스라엘 방문하고 이스라엘에 있는 사람들 한국 방문시키고요.
And one very important fact to know is that we are doing it for free because we believe that in this way we can help the Israeli economy and we can also help the Korean economy and the Korean companies.
네, 그래서 모든 거가 다 공짜로요. 프리로 하고 있다고 설명합니다.
And just before I finish, I would like to tell you about some events that will take place in Israel in the near future. And most of them are connected with those technologies that I was mentioning. So this June, actually in a month, we are going to have a very interesting exhibition in Israel, conference in Israel that deals with automotive and with mobility and the way mobility is changing and will change in the future. So this is called EcoMotion.
그래서 이제 마무리하면서 몇 가지 이제 올 행사들을 설명해 드리는데요. 다음 달에 에코모 이거 자동차의 산업을 이제 설계한 엑스포가 있습니다.
And on the same month, end of June, there will be another exhibition in Israel dealing with all those smart farming technologies that I was telling you about. And this is called Agri-Israel 4.0, like Industrial Revolution 4.0, but for agriculture.
네, 그래서 이제 6월 말에는 이제 농업 그래서 이제 4차 그 사명 설명하고 있죠 우리가 그래서 4.0인데요. 네, 텔레비브에서 24일부터 27일.
And in September, 4 months from now, we will have an annual event dedicated only for innovation. It's called DLD Festival, Innovation Festival. You know, innovation, as I told you, חדשנות, right? And this is dedicated to bring all kinds of foreign companies, Korean companies, American companies to learn about innovation in Israel.
그래서 9월 달에는 이제 이노베이션 페스티벌을 하면서요. 이제 그 많은 거를 이제 알려드리고 있습니다.
And lastly, in October, we have another annual conference dedicated for the future of mobility, but not only for the future of mobility, but also to the way we are going to change the fuels we are using, because current fuels, which are based on fossil fuels, are very polluted. And we are trying to change the world, and we are trying to bring clean energy, green energy to our world.
그래서 10월 달에는 이제 우리가 이제 석유를 많이 쓰는데요, 오일을 많이 쓰는데요, 그거를 이제 스마트 에너지로 쓰려고 이제 그런 컨퍼런스가 있습니다.
So for the end of my presentation, I would like to say that I believe in 7 ways or seven elements or a roadmap for doing business with Israel and to success together. So maybe one by one. The first one is to promote Israeli ecosystem, and this is what I'm trying to do today.
네, 7가지로 마무리하고 정리하겠습니다. 그래서 첫 번째는 promote, 그거를 이제 알리는 거죠.
But the second step is something that you the Korean people should do. You need to organize. You need to come in companies, in delegations, in groups, you need to organize yourself and then to raise money.
네, 두 번째는 이제 organize. 그래서 이렇게 이걸 같이 모여서요. 이제 투자도 받고 그 돈도 이제 모으시고 그래서 이제 그 상황을 만들어야 된다고 얘기하십니다.
So just to explain, when I say organize and raise, I mean the way venture capitals are organizing themselves in a financial structure, and then they raise funds, they raise money in order to invest somewhere.
네, 그래서 그거를 설명하면은 다시 한번 설명드리면요, 같이 모여서 벤처 캐피털 할 때, 벤처 할 때 모여서 이제 그거 아이디어 생기면은 그걸 갖고 이제 돈을 투자를 받고 하시는데 그런 거가 필요 있다고 얘기합니다.
And the next step is to visit, because if you don't visit Israel, if you don't see it in your own eyes, you cannot know.
네, 그 다음은 방문을 해야 돼요. 그리고 우리가 눈으로 보고 그래야지 그거를 상황을 알 수 있습니다.
And once you visit, you actually get to meet with the people, the same as I have the opportunity and the honor to meet you. When you go to Israel, you get to meet with the Israeli companies, with the Israeli inventors, and understand them better.
네, 그래서 방문하고 그 다음에 사람을 만나면은 이제 사람을 이해할 수 있고, 그래서 같이 일할 수 있습니다.
And almost the final step is to get to decide that you will invest your money. If you, for example, if you're a venture capital, you decide, well, I would like to invest my money into this and that company.
그리고 마지막은 이제 거기다가 투자를 하는 거죠. 이 회사, 저 회사 알아봐서 투자하는 거죠.
And then the last step is a success, is when you do good. And when I say do good, I mean you do profit, you do money for yourself, but you also do good in our world. You come up with a new solution for a very challenging problem.
네, 마지막에 do good이라는 말은 이제 돈도 벌고 이득을 남기지만 사회에서 좋은 일을 하는 거를 설명하십니다.
So what I'm trying to encourage all of you and the Korean people and the Korean companies that I meet with is to do good together.
그래서 같이 좋은 일을 하기를 원합니다.
So I will skip the summary, but basically I would like to thank you very much for your listening, and I hope that you now, after Nadav's presentation and after my presentation, you know Israel ecosystem and innovation ecosystem much better. And I invite you to tell us whether you're interested in doing business with Israel in the future. And I really appreciate your listening, and thank you very much for hosting us. 감사합니다. Thank you.
경청해 주셔서 감사합니다라고 얘기하십니다.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, not from. No. I think it's a Q&A, it's the last session that he had.
소다 나바. So much. 대단히 감사합니다. 소다 나바. 기분이 많아.
예.
소다 나바. 감사하고요.
감사합니다.
대단히 감사합니다. 아까 두 분만 저기 질의 바뀌었어요. 특별히 이렇게.
So two questions.
네, 얘기하세요. 영어로 얘기하실 겁니다.
아까 경제포럼님께서 이스라엘의 기업체 여러 가지 산업에 대해서 자세하게 설명하시는 내용을 보니까 그 기업들이 국가 자산이고 국가 재산이라는 것을 잘 어떻게 피해가지고 그다음에 그 경제에 대해서 기업에 대해서 해박하게 파악을 하고 그게 굉장히 외국인데 설명하신다는 게 감사하면서도 굉장히 부러움을 느꼈습니다.
Yeah, he said he was very thankful. You were very proud of all the companies that were investing there. And he said he was kind of a little envious that you could have all those companies invest in Israel. 질문이
지금 10월달에 개인적으로 딸이 히브리 대학에 백희나 과정을 거쳐가지고 히브리 대학에 진학 예정으로 있습니다. 금방으로 가게
몇 주야?
그리고 아까 농업에 대해서 저도 관심이 많은데 유감스럽지만 한국의 농업에 대해서는 대단히 노동 집약적이다. 그러니까 전통 우리 대한민국은 과거에 소농국가였습니다. 소농국가였죠. 중국과정은
네.
소농국가였습니다. 우리나라가
질문 혹시 간단하게 가셔야
질문
돼가지고요.
간단 가야 되니까. 예.
가셔야 돼서.
농업에 대해서
네.
그 농업이 참석하는 설명할 때를 들어보니까 농업이 굉장히 노동집약 산업이라는 걸 강조하는 것을 감명 깊게 들었습니다. 이 노동집약 산업이 우리 한국에 어떤 자본을 가지고 접근을 하면 우리도 이스라엘의 그 노동집약적인 농업의 접목이 될 수 있는가 그거를
Okay, this question's for you, Mr. Goldberg. He said Korea and the farming is very laborious. So farming in Korea is very laborious. So the biofarming he's interested in that. He said that in Korea it's very laborious, small farms. How can they implement biofarming in Korea? How is that? What's a possible way to do that? Maybe. And it's a tough question.
Yeah, definitely a tough question, but maybe I will answer very generally and say that I think that the way maybe, and I was also discussing that actually with the Korean government, with the Ministry of Agriculture in Korea. I think now in Korea there is a problem that not enough technology is being implemented into the agricultural provinces and the agricultural farms, and some technology is being developed by Korean companies, definitely, but the way to take it much faster, much better is by doing joint R&D with Israeli companies. And both of the governments, Israeli and Korea, we have a joint fund to support joint R&D on that. So this is one of the ways we can do that.
그러니까 첫 번째는 이제 같이 이스라엘하고 R&D를 같이 하는 거가 좋은데요. 한국이 지난번에 그 정부하고 한번 만난 적이 있으신데 그 기술을 이제 그거를 개입을 안 해서 그러니까 그래서 노동이다고 얘기하시는 거예요. 그러니까 우리가 컴퓨터를 사용하고 기술 같은 거를 사용해야 되는데 근데 우리 한국은 주로 어르신들이 많이 농사짓잖아요. 그러니까 되게 큰 문제인데 해결하는 방법은 같이 이스라엘에서 R&D를 같이 하면은 해결된다고 얘기하시네요.
이스라엘을 한 20분만 갔다 오면 돼요. 오케이. 자, 딱 간단하게 한 사람. 자, 이응이요. 예.
세 가지 질문.
너무 막 자. 예.
여기 제가 율브린너 배우가 온 줄로 이렇게 착각을 했습니다. 이스라엘 분들은 다 같이 이렇게 멋지신지
Okay, he said that he thought Yul Brynner. So he said that they're all handsome. Yul Brynner, it's the guy from
다 같이 잘생겨.
There's an actor. Yeah. He said, are they all handsome? His first question. He said,
Thank you.
네.
두 번째는 이제 투자를 하고 싶은데 우리 질투성 투자도 있지만 또 반대적으로 주식 투자를 한다면 그게 가능한지요?
Oh, how about stocks? He's asking how do you invest in stocks if you wanted to invest in Israel? Like this, is there a stock market?
I'm not sure. First of all, I would like to say that also my wife tells me that I'm handsome every morning, but I don't believe her. And as for the stocks, well, I'm not in position to recommend, of course, any stocks. I'm a diplomat and I'm working for the government. But I think your question is quite good because, and I will say again, I will say something very general. I think that, if I may say so, I think that Korean companies, Korean people should go more global, should be more open and try to go abroad and invest abroad, and because there are great opportunities overseas, not only in Israel, also in many other places. And I think one of the ways is to look into, and today, you know, we have the internet, we have all the information, we even have Google Translate in order to understand words in Hebrew, right? So go out there and read about Israeli companies, read about Israeli stocks, and if you find something that really attracts you, you should put your money into that. Because today, Israeli stocks are doing very, very good, and Israeli companies are doing very, very good, so you should invest.
네, 그러니까 주식은 이제 외교관이니까 어떻게 조언할 수는 없지만 하여튼 그 주식은 이스라엘 주식이 잘 되고 있으니까요. 잘 알아보고 투자하시는 거 좋고요.
내가 얘기해 줄게. 집사님이 말하였은즉 정령 이룰 것이고 또 경영하였은즉 정령 행하리라.
초등학생, 중학생, 고등학생 이런 학생들이 많이 이런 일에 참여하고 있는지
In the last question, he says, how about students, elementary, middle, high school? How are they involved in this technology and the work that you're doing?
So, as we said, we invest a lot in education. It goes throughout all ages. We invest today more in education for innovation, and we start teaching more about computer science and coding also in young ages.
그래서 젊은 나이서부터 애들을 이제 혁신을 가르치면서 이제 컴퓨터 코딩도 가르치고 있습니다.
However, in my opinion, these are just tools and very important tools. The most important tool is to inspire young people to think and to ask questions and to be innovate and to discuss among themselves, not to take things as granted.
네, 그러니까 이런 것들은 다 그냥 도구고요. 중요한 거는 학생들이 창의적으로 생각하는 거, 이거를 또 생각하는 거 같이 나누고 대화하는 거가 중요하다고 생각하십니다.
오케이. 이분들이 50분까지 서울에 가야 돼요. 대사님이. 근데 이제 이 이노베이션으로 날아가게 될 거예요. 얘기해줘요. 20분 만에 갈 거라고 이노베이션으로. 내비게이션이 인도해 줄 거예요. 내비게이션이 이스라엘에서 이것이 만든 거예요. 그 다음에 여러분이 쓰고 있는 비자 카드 이스라엘에서 만든 거예요. 빌 게이츠가 유대인이에요.
The navigation system was all made in Israel, so you're gonna be out of here. Innovate very quickly.
50분까지 가야 된다고 또 이제 그랬는데 너무 감사하고요. 이렇게 저희 교회에 방문해 주셔서 앞으로 또 뵙게 될 거라고 얘기하세요.
He said, hope to meet again. So.
또 올 거죠? 하고 물어봐요. 또 올 거냐고 내가 초청.
He's asking if you're gonna come back.
또 올 거죠?
또 초대하시면은 다시 오겠습니다.
다시 오겠다고 그랬어요. 마이 프렌드. 그 프렌드. 아주 제가 영어로만 할 줄 안다 그러면 아주 잘 통역하고 막 달려가겠는데 영어를 못해가지고 그런데 너무 감사하고요. 우리가 적은 선물 하나 딱 1분 만에 준비했는데 좀 가져오시면 좋을 것 같아요. 우리 신우식 안수집사님 안에 좀 가져오시고 또 우리 누가 여자 이은미 왔어요? 왔어요? 그 다음에 우리 윤사무엘 우리 성도님 윤사무엘 이렇게 최고의 이스라엘의 그 다음에 미국의 이 석자 교수님이 오셨어요. 우리 교회 지금 오셨고 이 또 강의를 들으실라. 그 다음에 손다희 또 최고의 이스라엘에 또 미국의 박사님 오셨어요. 오늘 두 분 박수하겠어요. 안녕하세요. 영어로 한마디 씩 해주세요. 이분들한테. 자 먼저. 또 축복해 주세요.
Thank you very much. Your speeches are very impressive and challenging. We appreciate that you love Israel.
저도 쌤쌤입니다. 자, 그래 우리 저기 선물. 이거 저기 한국의 그 차 뭐지 이것이?
Tea set.
닭이 세트 차 이렇게 끓이는 거 차 이렇게 찻잔들 이런 게
Korean tea set. Yeah,
티팟
tea set. Yeah.
또 그 다음에 오늘 이게 화장품
some.
우리 성도들이 다 하는 기업이에요. 이걸 보시고 한국 것을 또 잘
차 안 갖고 오셨다고.
차 안 갖고 왔어요? 이분들이 택시로 가거든요. 택시로. 그래 이건 그럼 제가 그래 택시 타면 되잖아요. 못해? 보내드릴게요.
그냥 그 마음만 받으신다.
네 그럼 보내드릴게요. 비서님을 통해서. 일단은 줄 분들도 저 홍삼, 코리안, 스트롱, 코리안 스트롱, 코리안 아주 코리안 스트롱. 오케이. 그래서 우리 성도들이 이렇게 준비했어요. 이제 내가 그 비서를 통해서 그러면 보내주겠다고 다음 주.
He'll send it through, I guess.
한국 비서를 통해서.
Okay.
But please tell him and the crowd that for us the real opportunity to speak to people, this is the real gift.
네, 그러니까 제일 좋은 거가 와서 얘기할 수 있는 기회를 주셔서 너무 감사하다고 얘기하신대요. 네.
이건 아내들한테 갖다 줘야 돼. 화장품.
It's for your wife. So,
우리 다 일어서셔가지고 이렇게 이분들이 시간이 없으니까 두 손을 내밀고 I love you 하고 이스라엘 하고 이렇게 한번 시작. Love you 이스라엘. 아멘. 하나님께 영광이 박수. 원모 타입 한 번만 더 사진 찍겠대요. 네. 자기 나라에 저기 보내고 네타뉴 총리한테도 보내요. 빨리 영어로 해요. 네타뉴 총리한테도 보내라고.
Send it to the prime minister.
I love you 이스라엘 시작.
So I
love you 이스라엘. 한 번 더 이렇게 시작. I love you. 네. 그래서 다음에는 빌 게이츠가 한국에 올 때는 꼭 우리 교회를 그 집사님이 오도록 다리 역할을 하라고 그래요.
He said when Bill Gates comes to Korea, he said you guys will come with him.
오케이. 자 그리고 여기 가야 되는데 축복과 한 박수를 하자고요. 자, 에레브 토부하고 시작. 자, 옆 사람하고 인사하고 오늘 이렇게 마치겠어요.